Hello and welcome. This is part 3. It's interesting, right? Because you may feel like there are energies that are attempting to bombard or try to pull on your energy frequency. And it's okay to say thank you, no thank you, and push and close the door, right? It's all about like you being in your own strength and you understanding what you're in resonance with and what no longer is for you. So psychometry and magnokinesis, the ability to feel someone's energy and the ability to determine someone's belongings, the ability to control magnetic fields and metal magnets. Recognition, the ability or able to perceive things from the past, from past times. Abundance attractor, able to manifest abundance in all areas of your life, and the ability to control ice, cryokinesis, right? I really think like as you move about your week, that you're really focusing on what healthy abundance looks like to you. And I think what it is it's also like this thing in regards to perceiving the way you used to live, right? Because I'm kind of getting like somebody used to splurge and like used to do a bunch of things, and it's like kind of understanding like where your relationship with abundance was founded, and like what was that vibration as you were growing up, and how have you re-implemented the same exact patterns in the current reality, right? And that's a hard crux to follow, because it's like we actively make a choice of where we are with that. But now it's time for you to flip it on its ass and for you to pick a higher timeline and to change your relationship with the way that you are abundant. And like I said before, it's the energy frequency, right? So like where can you go back into a state of like gratitude and thankfulness, and that it's validating that the divine has helped you up until this point. And you can say, yo, like my life is falling apart. Like I, just lost my spouse. I just like lost my house. I just went through like the most horrific, you name it, right? And as somebody who got out of that, right? Like I'm telling you, in 5 years, it's going to be a blip on your radar. Like it's going to be something that you can talk about as you overcame it. And even then you're going to look at it quite faintly, right? It's just going to be a blip in your process. And so the question is like, how do you want to move in the here and the now? And like, how are you pushing that energy forward? Because I'm talking to people who know how to work with energy, right? That you knowingly, unknowingly, like you run energy beautifully. And so like, as you're understanding like the why you're so sensitive, right? Why you can read Susie Q's mind, right? How you can see patterns of like where people are going or how they're operating. You see the threads, you see the connections, right? And it's all about like you starting to shift your tuner to where you're no longer allowing another person, place, thing to impede your thought forms, your emotional frequency, your body. You're coming into your sovereignty, right? But it doesn't happen overnight because you have to build that muscle. You have to build that strength. You have to work with your gatekeepers, because regardless of what people say, you need those bitches. Like, you need gatekeepers on the spiritual realm that are like literally taking arms in your favor, right? You're setting up your pit bulls for them to do what they need to do, because you should have the highest timeline and the most fruitful of all of your lifetimes. We're in a very, very unique and expansive time in history for the planet, for the people, right? Like, your energy is potent. It is potent. So why not start shifting it to a higher state of being, right? It's yours. You should be able to keep it. It shouldn't be going out to some person you hooked up with 7 years ago, right? It shouldn't be going up to a toxic family member that you don't even talk to. It's time to cut these cords. It's time for you to get onto a higher state of being, right? Like, your 9th grade boyfriend shouldn't have your energy, right? So call that stuff back. Start identifying, is this mine? Whose is it? Show me the picture of who it is, right? Call spiritual authority on the process. And once you start doing that, like, you're gonna start coming into your gifts at an accelerated rate. It's, understanding, like play with it, right? Play with it. Like, pay attention to your energy. Pay attention to your emotions. Are your emotions being caused by or being manipulated by other things outside of you, right? Or are they yours? Do they belong to you? Like, these things and these markers are going to kind of set you up for the success that you desire in this next phase. And so it's all about, like, are you asking the right questions? Are you, directing your time, your energy, your space into a higher timeline? Because I can tell you from experience, like, it's very easy to say, I'm going to do this. And then your ego is like, no, you're not. Like, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure you don't do that. Oh, you're going to get a bad knee. Oh, you're going to get a bad back. Oh, your elbow's going to start hurting. And all of a sudden, you're like, son of a bitch, I guess I'm not doing it. Right? But again, like, what are you not moving forward in your life in? Because then your knees are reacting to what you're not doing. Your shoulder, like, literally holds things. Okay, so what are you not holding up in your life? And where do you keep dropping the ball? And like, by going through and start looking at, like, whoa, okay, like, I'm not speaking my truth. Oh, well, something's going on with my throat chakra. Whoa, okay. And as you're going through, and then, like, here's the other thing, is, like, 85% of the time, it's not even your shit. It's not even your shit. Like, the negative Nancy, Debbie Downer, like, old way of being. And maybe you've already experienced this. Maybe you've already understand it. Maybe you're in the process of understanding it. But you are going to learn, or you have seen, that's not mine. And, like, removing all of this debris, because that's all it is. They're all lessons. And once you say, I see it, I clearly understand it, I'm making moves to no longer be in it, right? And you start taking the steps. You only got to take one step at a time. You don't have to get to your end goal right off the bat. And, like, so with every spoonful, like, you just kind of go with it. And you get stronger. So, like, I would say, the cryokinesis could be like maybe you speaking your desires into existence. Who knows? Maybe you can move snow. I don't know. Like, you can play with it, right? Think X-Men. I always say, like, who knows the possibilities of your gifts if you have yet to play with them? Like, go play with your gifts. Go see what you can do, right? One of these could resonate with you. All of these could resonate with you. It entirely depends. Because again, it's incarnation cycle. It's like DNA structure. It's soul's incarnations, lessons. Everybody has different stuff we signed up for. And so, yeah, go with it. I mean, it's going to be fun. The psychometry is kind of interesting because, like, you'll just get waves of, like, sorrow and emotion, and like you'll be like, who is that? Like, what is going on? I was cool like 5 minutes ago. And like literally you'll realize, oh, my neighbor was going through da 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 da, and then all of a sudden you're picking the shit up, right? So you're gonna start understanding that process. Anything else? I'm gonna get you a guide, and then we will call this a reading. And sorry, there's 3 of them. It is what it is. I don't know why the computer is shutting off, but we'll roll with it at 11:11. I think just one, but you tell me. Holy Spirit. It's the only one you need. So expect miracles. And whoever feels like they're buried or they're going through like this exuberant amount of like stress of like, crap, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I want you to just take a deep breath, and I want you to give honor to like where it's living at in your body, right? Let it light up for you. And just take a couple of deep breaths, allowing your body to shift, right? Neck, heart, shoulders, knees, third eye, release. Good. And I want you to pull in that like fuchsia color. And I want you to pull a lot of it in, and I want it to just go through and heal and repair any rips, tears, impediments that have been happening on your aura, right? And I'd like for you, if you can, let's reset your solar plex and your sacral chakra, because they need to be a little bit higher in vibration. And if you guys don't know, you can go through each of your chakra systems and ask what the percentage is, and then figure out what pictures are living in those areas. Yeah, it's an exercise that I've done, that I do with clients, and it's a really nice way for you to start working with your own energy and really tapping into self, and figuring out where there are opportunities in your body for you to get on a higher vibration, right? Your goal should be to get to 100% light, right? Where you are a sovereign being in a body. And I want to say, I think it's like 86% is like essentially like alien vibration or like cosmic vibration. And then everything else like below, I'd say like 60, is a lower, stuck, dense, heavier energy that we were talking about in the first, group of videos. Yeah. So I would say like meditate. You can call forward the Holy Spirit, right? A lot of old writings say that the Holy Spirit was actually your higher self. And you could say that it's an aspect of the Holy Spirit, right? Is your higher self. It's interesting how HS, right? It still stays with the same vibration. You can call it whatever you want to call it, but that accessing of like having all of your records and all of the understanding of who you are as a soul having a human experience, right? And it's the vibration that wants nothing but the best for you. It will never criticize you. It will never put you down. It will never misguide you in a direction that you're supposed to be in, right? But until you actually learn to work with your own energy, you have to constantly ask, especially for those of you that are clairaudient, or your mediums, right? Because the truth is you are going to clear audibly start hearing spirits. And you have to determine, are you 100% light? Are you allowed to be in my space? Are you of the Father? And do you have my best in mind? Right? And again, it's all about asking the right questions. In asking, how do we get on a higher timeline? What do I need to do to move myself in a higher timeline? And then give honor to all of the setbacks that your ego is going to try to give you. And then keep moving forward, right? Because the truth is you're going to always learn. You're always going to have areas that you need to work on. It's part of the human experience. It's part of the, where do you get to a state of being where you find your middle ground, where you are at a point of understanding. So, yeah. Anything else? Somebody may also be needing to explore sacred geometry, or maybe you're already seeing like patterns and you just need to put them down on paper. Or in paintings is what I'm seeing. So maybe that's an outlet, or it's a code, right? Because sacred geometry has codes within codes. So that may be something that you want to look at. I'm going to leave that there. If something did resonate with you, please like, comment, subscribe, share. And until next time, be well. Ciao.